Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand. Call
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for tuning in to DLD After Dark. You know, it's funny because I'm sitting here thinking we've already been rolling for about 3 minutes, and the music is playing the whole time in the beginning, and I've always had folks be like, so why the song? Like, why the song in the beginning? I don't get it. First off, it's a pretty dope song, right? Secondly, it lets us get like the comments up, and then we start the conversation, and it's like, oh, Garen's here, Kurt's here, Matt Smith is here, Zanti, and it starts kind of the vibe, right? And believe it or not, way back, actually, like probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 months ago, I actually polled you guys, no homo, and almost all of you said you got to keep the song in. Even we've tried other songs, we've done it all anyway. So the song, if you guys would like the song to stay as a fixture in the beginning, the little intro, let me know. My other question was, when you guys watch the next day on replay, do you let the song play? And almost all of you guys said yes. A, either I don't believe you, or B, you're trying to make me feel good, or something. I don't know, whatever it is, but you guys like the song, so we're gonna keep it for now. But give me a 1 in chat if you want to keep the devil in a red dress. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We actually have a very exciting show for you tonight, and a very exciting guest. And I'm pretty sure that most of you know who it is, so we're going to jump into it. But before we bring him on, we got to do the greetings for all the channel members. Look, nearly 90% of the support on this channel comes directly from channel members. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick welcome of all of our channel members, and then we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest and jam it out from there. He's going to be with us for about an hour, and then ish, and then we'll stick around for a little after party with just us. How about that? So first in chat tonight was Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Brother, great to see you. Not only is he a channel member, but he's also a moderator. So thank you, sir. Let's do a crisp high five. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. So let's see who else we got. Let's see, we got Kurt 24. We got Matt Smith, brother. Great to see you as well. Oh, and I saw your message. Yes, I will be there. I'm not. I'll be at the Guns Out TV event at XCal. I'm not sure as far as like the tickets and stuff like that. I'm not totally sure, but we'll see. I'll holler at you offline. Zanti Misfit, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Flying Rich Firearms and Flying Rich, channel member and moderator. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. And channel members, sound off in chat, and I'll make sure that we greet you guys. Here we go. Look at this. Hot Dog 990 in the building, brother. Great to see you, man. My top contributors are here. Appreciate you, man. And let's see, Hot Dog. I also wanted to holler at you offline about the waffle stuff. So let's chat. Let's see, Flying Rich, of course. Let's see, Matt Smith, and look at this, Flying Rich talking about him being old. Surprise, surprise. Let's see, we got Zanti Misfit, Flying Rich, Gort. Great to see you, brother. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, man. Let's see, Hot Dog 990, Zanti Misfit, Matt Smith, Gort. Let's go. Hot Dog 990. I'm just making sure we're not missing people here. Zanti Misfit, Flying Rich, Zanti Gorge. Hey, there he is. Blue Curtain Burner, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Kurt 24, Zanti Misfit. My bad. I'm super far back in chat. Barton Fink, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Flying Rich, Kurt 24, the producer of the show. There he is, Mike McClune, the Goon, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. And the moderator. So put some spec on his name, I believe is what the kids say nowadays. Mike McClune, Gort, Flying Rich, Barton Fink. Let's see, Gort, Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Sorry, I know we're going through a lot of doubles here. Give me 1 second. Has entered the building. Yes, sir. Zanti, Blue Curtain, Gort. Dang, all y'all for real? Keep the song. Call 911. Yes, almost always. 11111 and one, like as in the person that mows your grass. Okay, all right. It's a bad joke. Sorry. Hot Dog 990. There he is. Tex Bullington, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Blue Curtain, Brenner Kurt 24. Dang, more ones. All right, we'll keep the song. Just for y'all. Barton Fink. Hey, Sandwich Chef, the chef of sandwiches, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. And Herrera has an MP7. Yeah, I'm behind in my consumption of social media, so I kind of missed that someone else was talking about it. I'm just slacking. Jova Q, what it do? Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out as well. See you, Flying Rich, Jova Q. Just going through here. Matt Smith, Zanti. He also gave a 1. Y'all saw that. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, brother. Great to see you. It was great meeting you and a bunch of you other guys at Goals as well. That was really cool. Just seeing people literally traveling like all throughout the country to come through, like that was crazy, man. I appreciate you. Juan, I don't do tortilla talk. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we have a very exciting guest this evening, and most of you guys probably already do subscribe to and watch this fine young gentleman. But I'd like to go ahead and introduce our special guest of the evening, your friend Braden with Langley Outdoors Academy.
Wow, was that the crowd? I appreciate that, man. I love a good crowd, an audible crowd noise. Man, I gotta step up my game a little bit.
If we ever could actually like have the noise of my viewers coming, we would just never want it. They would be the most rambunctious bunch of fellows. It'd be crazy. But welcome, man.
I recognize most of them. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. It's funny. We've talked a couple times about, doing the show, and it's just life gets in the way, but I'm glad to have you on. Yeah,
Dems, gun controllers,
dude.
Republicans, all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff gets in the way.
Yeah, and it seems to mostly be the people that say that they're fighting for our rights, but you know,
Are
but
you implying that there are ulterior motives?
I know, right? I know.
Sir.
But let's go ahead and jump in, and if you could take a moment for those out there that though most probably know you, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm on Langley Outdoors Academy, if you want to really call it the technical term. But Langley
Yeah,
Outdoors is what most people know me. My name is Braden. I do politics. I do gun politics. I do outside politics. I do all the politics that are ancillary to our gunfight because we're going to win our Second Amendment rights back. That's the whole idea. You got the gun
yes,
world,
sir.
you got everything happening outside the gun world, and that's what we focus on, and we tie all those dots together because at the end of the day, we're going to win this bad boy. We're going to. I'm telling you, we're going to. But it's
Yeah,
about it's about exposing what needs to be exposed on the negative and reinforcing what needs to be reinforced on the positive. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's a tendency sometimes to kind of slant one way on
hmm,
in our space a little bit.
of
And
course.
honestly, with this, as many times as we've been kicked right in the balls, I don't hold that against anybody. But objectively, the thing that I try to do is I try to highlight not only what's going on, but also what we're going to do about it. And then
Yeah,
from there, we can chart a path forward. Because, I mean, candidly, being upset about something is absolutely necessary. But if you just stay there, nothing happens moving forward. That's a
yeah.
very important piece. And I try to tie all of that together in this big amalgamation of freedom, sarcasm, a little bit of humor, and what's going on, and then how we're going to defeat these tyrants.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, it's funny because, and I appreciate that explanation because, like, it's really easy for all of us to stand in a circle and yell about problems with
Yeah.
very few people yelling about solutions, or at least, planning, coming up with ideas. And honestly, groups like the GOA and others, I'd say the GOA has probably been, and I'm personally, not affiliated with them, right? But either way,
Mhm.
even if, I was, the GOA seems to be doing the most and having, a lot of success legislatively.
Legislatively, kind of medium. And just for the record,
Yeah.
by the way, for this conversation, I'm not affiliated with any national gun right groups either. And the
Okay.
reason for that is extremely intentional. I can highlight, and this is really to the benefit of the viewer, because if
Mhm.
I'm highly affiliated to one, that means I can't cover something that's important to our fight with another. If
Sure.
like
Yeah.
so basically, if I have no direct tie affiliation to any one of them other than very close friendships and partnerships from a
Mhm.
standpoint of, hey, here's what's going on, here's what I think, here's what you think, what you guys got, what are we doing collectively?
Yeah.
If I isolate to one, then that basically that has a net negative benefit on the viewership and the overall fight. So that's why I don't do it specifically, like no sponsorships, no nothing like that. If you
Yeah.
perform, you get some attention. That's kind of the vibe.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, um, that's a good like integrity aspect, like a good moral, characteristic. And Flying Rich, I see your chat. We'll get to you in just a sec. I mean, I'll say I was very discouraged and disengaged over the years, and I mean, I was getting to the point where I was like, "Why vote?" Like like why
Very
do we
common
even
thing.
do this?
Yeah.
And getting with like, and I see, I mean, a lot of people were kind of like, feeling kind of black pilled, right? Like I always
Mhm.
say, you can take the black pill, handle the black pill, you can put it in your pocket, and just don't ingest it. Like
Right.
you could
It will
visit
kill
it,
you.
say
It will
hi.
kill you. Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
eat you alive. And like I'd say I was getting probably pretty close to it, but I started listening a lot more to Crump is a friend of mine.
Mhm.
We're close enough to say that we're almost neighbors,
Yeah.
and I kind of started paying attention more to the GOA and what some of these groups are doing. And I actually started to see progress. And then, Bruin, and then all these things were happening. And I was like, whoa, like we may actually be, moving the ball down the field
Mhm.
without using our ammunition, like it's
Right.
you know, so it kind of won me back over and, brought me into believing that we can do things positively with, the system the way it is, although it's still kind of broken. But yeah, it kind of gave me some hope, I guess.
So here's my thoughts on that, because that's a very good point. That's a great point, an excellent bouncing place to a further conversation. What helps me in that is nothing is ever going to be perfect made of men at all, ever.
Yeah.
It is impossible. Men are flawed creations.
Mhm.
So if there's a human being involved, there's going to be either mistakes or intentional mistakes.
Yeah.
You're never going to be perfect. We're not robots.
For sure.
And if I look at it from that perspective, then I can go, okay, I can objectively, analytically tell you what went wrong, where it went wrong, which we're going to get into. I have a feeling talking about the big, beautiful bill like at some point, but
Yeah.
I can objectively and analytically break down what happened, when it happened, how do we fix it in the future? And that's the big thing, is because you'll notice that the left is just as pissed. The right, like the left,
Yeah.
when they're not in power, they say the system's broken, and the right, when they're not in power, they say the system's broken, and it's kind of like this little seesaw back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because it's a creation made of men. Now, there are absolutely things that should never have happened in over our history that
Mhm.
have made it even more of a very ugly behemoth. But at the root cause, it's made of men. So I can't be totally upset. It can be corrupted, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and a lot of us here, are men of faith. We, I guess, are saved. Where most of us are Christians, and you put anything man made, right? You're gonna have corruption, you're gonna have sin, you're gonna have flaws, and one of the things that you had said was things could go wrong, and sometimes things can go wrong intentionally, right? Like the sabotage aspect, which I'm sure things like that happen often. And I'm curious about your outlook on something, which we'll get to in one sec. Flying Rich, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says a very important message. Hello, Langley Indoor Academy.
That's because that's the big thing. I talk about politics, nothing outdoors, and I'm always inside.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very appropriate. That name will change, by the way, in the future. It's going to be changed pretty soon. So just
are you really you're gonna go through a name change? Yeah,
I have to, dude. I have to, like, to do what I'm doing, to hit the things that I'm hitting and where I'm kind of going in the channel and directions. It's one of those things that is a necessity of the growth. And so at that point, it's like, well, this is going to be jarring, but we got to do it. I did it wrong at the beginning. So here we go.
I mean, I guess though what you talk about is specific to like, legislation, politics, things revolving around, 2A, first, that kind of stuff. Those are all outdoorsy topics, right?
They're very weirdly related in an abstract kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I mean, honestly, if I didn't upload like shorts and other like video, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually uploaded. And we talked about this when we were at Goals. I actually don't remember when I uploaded like a hard video upload as opposed to like live streams and shorts. But if I didn't upload stuff like that, I don't think people would even believe that I go outside, because every time they see me, it's here.
I'm right here.
That's. Well, and I hope this will give you probably some positive reinforcement. So my brother is he's super low key, but he's in like every, whether it's a premiere or something that you do, an upload or a show or my shows. He hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you need professional sound equipment. You need the Shure SM7B. You need this." And you know what he said? He said, "And you need a professional background like Braden with Langley Outdoors."
Wow, that's deep.
Like,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So now, at some point, either tonight or whenever the next few days, he's going to see this, and probably we'll get some laughs out of that. So
there you go.
Now, before we get into all the crazy stuff that we detest, but unfortunately have to digest because of the world that we live in, I have some questions about you from more of like a personal standpoint. What shoe size? I'm just kidding. So what?
Large.
What handgun do you usually carry?
So I always answer that question the first with a joke, because I don't know, what am I wearing? But yeah. Here's the thing that I always get into, because there's a few different options, right? I always get into the problem of what if it goes wrong, right? Not the firearm. What if a scenario goes wrong, right? Do I want to have one of my guns that I really like locked up in an evidence locker, or do I want to just have like my throwaway like locked up in the
Yeah.
evidence locker. I mean, they both work really well.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to, slum it a little bit with a Glock? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start naming name brands. We're going to get a fight going. I'm
Dang.
going to
Okay.
slum it with a Glock because that's okay. I can put that in an evidence locker. Or do I want to go with like a higher end medium level, like a 1911? Because I mean, I'm a big dude. Those things will melt on me. I can totally
you can
do it.
hide them. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what I typically land on though is I land right in that middle zone, and I land in one of the naughty brands. Okay, so bear with me on this. So Springfield has its histories and has its negatives and all that, but I basically narrowed it down to the upper echelon of the Smith & Wessons or the Springfields, and the reason why was just a few redundancies that I liked or comfort. Right. Okay. So the Glock, I love how the Glock is a lower sitting angle. It's a more relaxed angle. But at the end of the day, I like that 1911 style, just very high level, high bore axis, and I just like it. Right. Yeah. So the M&P won for me on actual comfort because the grip is incredibly comfortable, but the trigger just pissed me off because it was so trash. And then the Springfield XDM series with the already upgraded components and the upgraded match grade stuff and the better sights and all those. I was like, you know what? It's got the beaver tail safety in it. It's got the upgraded stuff. I'm going Springfield. So if I'm going to carry something that I can be accurate out to about 25 yards with at a 9mm, I'm going Springfield XDM.
You're running an XDM. Dang. Okay. That's interesting. I was not expecting that.
I'm going to go that way. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
But I like the way the gun shoots. I know that Springfield has its issues. I know that it's got a lot of things. I like the way it feels.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to put like, even if you have disagreements with a company how they've done things or not done things, sometimes like if you just shoot a particular handgun better, or are willing to let it go in an evidence locker, maybe never see it again. Maybe
right.
We all and we've had those conversations too, where it's like, man, do I want to carry like a $2,400 Glock with a ramjet and RMR and all that? I mean, I want to. Do I want to never see it again?
I would love to carry a Nighthawk around.
Yeah,
exactly. A little flex on the hip. But
dude, I've seen guys like carrying 1911s with like the Meteor, triggers and
the double stacks and all that. Piece of artillery on their hip.
It's like, dude, and they had some of those 1911s at Goals literally were made out of like T-Rex bone and like meteor, whatever.
Meteor stuff.
Yeah, it's like, that's cool. But like, aside from, and I'm a collector, right? I got a bunch of guns, but like,
no, where are they? I can't see them.
Yeah, right. Oh, this old thing. You should see my gun safes.
Yeah. Those are the throwaway guns.
Yeah, right. These pesky little Geisley Super Duties, But it's like, I mean, God forbid you got to put. I could imagine like a dude carrying one of those like, and I forgot what they're called, but like whatever the brand is that makes those like $12,000 Meteor, 1911s. Like pulling a crappy little Kel-Tec P3AT out of their pocket if something goes down,
Right,
just
you have the good gun, but
yeah.
That's the thing that really bothers me about staccatos. Like staccatos are incredible. The new ones are like the 2011s are phenomenal. They shoot incredibly straight. They feel amazing. They're heavy. They're bulky. They're strong. But I don't want that gun to be thrown in an evidence locker.
Yeah, dude, they're not cheap. Dude. They are not cheap. And I mean, they're great. They're extremely accurate. They're super fast. I mean, they're like laser beams. There's been some questioning on certain platforms being drop safe. So, blowing my ball sack onto my leg is probably something that I'm not interested in.
We can totally get into that too, by the way. That is totally a green light if you want.
Okay, cool. I'm down. There is nothing off limits on.
Oh, you're driving. I'm just telling you, there's no like warning sign. Like that's the beautiful thing about not being affiliated.
Yeah, right. So the SIG 320. I'm just kidding. And we can get into that too. But what about long guns? What's like your go-to long gun?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I have an affliction, and it might be FUD disease. I'm not sure, but I have this love relationship with a 30-06 cartridge. I cannot get past it. I love the cartridge because you're
Dang.
talking about the same 308 round that's in a 308 NATO, but you've got larger shell or case capacities, so you get
Yeah.
more variability. You can get lighter or not hypersonic, but lighter, very very fast high velocity rounds, or you can get heavier, chunkier, slower. I just
Yeah.
like that wider range of versatility.
It's crazy powerful. I mean,
It's tried, it's true, it's powerful, it's got versatility. I love a 308 too, though. Now here's why I say those stories or those preferences. I've got a Remington R700, which is, I love that gun. That's an amazing gun. Cool. 30-06, go team. Then I've got an AR-10 that I built from Aero Precision uppers and lowers, and
nice.
that bad boy, my AR-10, has got a 20-inch bull barrel on it, and it's a very heavy, chunky 308 long range. Sit down, have a nice ice bottle of water right there with you, and just have some fun at distance.
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose either one of those, I would choose the AR-10 simply because that's kind of my, like, I made it. I literally assembled it. And so it's kind of like my blood is in there somewhere. You know, I lost many springs on it, you know, all that stuff.
Probably literally blood in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you bust your knuckles when the castle wrench like slips.
Yeah.
But I'd say my AR-10, and I got a custom paint job on it, so it's that stealth gray, and I'm just like, I like you.
Yeah, that's cool. And Arrow is not a bad company at all. And actually so Tactical Turkeys, these are friends of mine. Brother, great to see you. That's probably Dust behind the keyboard there. He does a lot of like long range stuff. He said I'd seen someone shoot out to 800 to 900 yards with a 30-06.
Oh yeah,
mind blown.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I would love to do a lot more long range stuff. I just like when I got that Geisy Super Duty there, and I just happen to have this in front of me right here. The mount that I put my nice piece of glass on was this little like $45 Arrow mount, because I just didn't know, I just I'm not like the long range guy. Like handguns, I got it down. I'll actually, like, my buddies will get pissed off at me because I always want to train handgun and I always want to do, drills.
Well, it's more practical.
Yeah, it's like if we're running around, going to the grocery store or whatever, if something pops off, I'm not going to pull like my shotgun out of a scabbard. I'm going to draw my handgun, like, let's get realistic. So, the most practical thing, like you said, it's practical. It is, if something pops off, we're likely to have our handgun on us, and so that's my whole thing. But so are you not like an AR guy, or?
Oh no, I absolutely am. But if I was talking about my so that's my second affliction. So if I was talking about just my one favorite gun, it would be my AR-10.
Gotcha.
But no, so I built my first AR-15. So I bought actually the first AR-15 I ever owned, I bought the day after Barack Obama got elected. And that was my first AR-15 ever, because my parents weren't gun people. And from there, I was like, okay, that was cool, whatever. And then I started like tweaking like the parts and stuff. I was like, wait a minute, you could build them? And I built my first one, and I was like, I'm never buying an AR-15 again. I mean, I have probably, God, 6 or 7 ARs that I've built in the past few years, but they're all different cartridges and purpose built. Yeah, like I have an AR-15. Obviously, I have a 300 Blackout. I have a 25-45 Sharps. I have a pistol I built for my wife. Like I just love building them. They're just fun. All the different components and different pieces. But I also like Wildcat cartridges too. Like the 300 Blackout and the 25-45 are awesome. I'm like, this is so cool.
There's a lot of new stuff coming out too. Like the obviously, like the 8.6 Blackout and all that craziness. Actually, the Tactical Turkeys, which shout out to them, they're doing awesome. They broke 300,000 subscribers on their channel. They had
nice. Good job.
Yeah, they're crushing it. They did some videos with 8.6 Blackout, and the 8.6 Blackout subsonic stuff stopped in a level 3A soft vest. The supersonic stuff literally whizzed through it. If I recall correctly, it might have gone through both sides. Like it was like nuts. So I mean that stuff is crazy. The somebody out there, if Eagle Run 23 is out there, someone could remind me. It's like a 338. oh man, I'm drawing a blank, but it's basically like a 338 Lapua cartridge jammed into a 300 blackout cartridge. It's insane.
Oh, dang, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like 338
Shytac?
arc,
Yeah,
338 arc. That's it. See, Gord, you guys, I rely on you guys just too much. Thank you. We love you too, Dark. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I haven't gotten too into the Wildcat stuff because I tend to just load my, ammo depot, I call it, which is just a closet, with as much like 5.56 and 9 mil that I can.
yeah.
But and MREs and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for that. I was just curious. I'm like seeing all this stuff that you do, seeing the content that you post and seeing videos. I'm like, I wonder what gun he's carrying, or I wonder what gun, like,
Right.
he just took off before he made this video,
Yeah, yeah. YouTube doesn't like that all the time when you get into like when you get to certain levels, they kind of go, is that a gun?
Yeah.
Do my algorithm eyes see a firearm item?
Oh yeah. It's
Put
almost
you in a
like
special
they,
bucket.
yes, it's almost like they intentionally drive your engagement down the
No,
drain when you
stop it.
do only live streams and
They
show a
wouldn't.
bunch of guns
They,
in the background.
they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, of course not. And they also wouldn't partner directly with the United States government and all that stuff. Anyway, we love
Oh,
YouTube, right?
I mean, YouTube's amazing.
Yeah, we love it. It honestly, as far as like a platform for consuming content,
Oh,
it
it's
literally is
incredible.
amazing. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. And I hate it for it. So okay, let's get into it. So the HPA, the short act, we've all been waiting. Like back when you had mentioned Obama, back when the whole Sierra Hotel event happened, the hook that was very sandy, things were just going nuts. And ARs were going for $2,000, AKs were going for $1,000, but that was also back when AKs cost like $350. So at that time it was nuts to pay $1,000 for an AK. And I was working at a gun shop at the time, and dudes would walk in and say, like, I will take one AK and one AR. And after they go through the background check and all that, they're like, great, now can you show me how to use it?
Right.
Like they were just getting it because they thought they may not ever be able to get it again. So that definitely shaped things. It had a big impact on the industry. And I also bought a bunch of foolish stuff that I didn't need. But at that time I started watching politics more closely. My values kind of shifted and changed, and that's kind of when I started paying more attention. And I'm in my late 30s now, so we're probably not too far off from each other.
Same thing, late 30s.
Yeah. So that's when I started paying attention, and as time goes on, kind of being either in the industry or adjacent to the industry, kind of keeping my eyes on stuff. But I guess since around that time was when I think the Shush Act was even like brought up, or like a possibility. And then since that point, we're talking like 20 years, people have been talking about passing either the Shush Act or the Hearing Protection Act, and then we get hit with, well, some people would say that it's a good thing. I don't personally love the way that it ended, but what's your outlook? I guess I could have just asked this. What's your outlook on the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act and all the things that had occurred?
Well, so there's so much into that.
I know there's a lot of layers.
So full transparency on it. I was very involved in that process on the media side of it. I was talking, and this is some behind the scenes. I haven't even told my audience this stuff yet. I mean, it's not super secret. I just hadn't arisen. But I was very closely working with three or four different major, like the 3 or 4 of the major 2A orgs in the 2A space. No, 4. Yeah, it was 4. And I mean, it was honestly for about, I'd say 2.5 to 3 months. It was every day talking to all 4 of them, getting uploads, getting downloads, getting what's going on, what's happening, who's the weak point, who's the weak link, where do we need energy. I mean, it was a very, very big process.
Yeah.
And amazingly, the one thing that I'll tell you that I am so incredibly happy that the entire process happened, regardless of the outcome. We'll get to that in a second. But seeing the 2A community come together in a way that we have never come together before like that.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
And that was it the perfect outcome that we wanted? No, it was not. I'm not going to lie to anybody about that. But I will be 100% honest with you, going through the process of that, seeing what was possible and how all the gun right organizations could come to work together very, very cohesively. The elements of the media were brought into that in the appropriate timing, in the appropriate fashion. We all worked very conducively together. That whole thing was a model and a real life proof of concept that we can do it and we will do it again. So from that perspective, we taught ourselves more than we actually recognized that we did in that space. That was incredible.
And we've never seen it like that. That's never happened. At least I've never seen it to the extent that it happened. And even if like you see people all the time, and like I said, for a while I was disengaged. I wasn't calling, the switchboard to get, like I was just never, taking action. And I've never seen more people that seemed like we were in a hopeless place step up and start making calls. I mean, daily. Sometimes
I was so proud of every single one of them, and I said it to them routinely too on my channels. But that's the number one thing that we got out of that. Even if we had not gotten anything, which again, I'm working my way towards the end of this process. Even if we had not gotten anything, that was one of the more massive wins that we've had in a long time on that front. Now, objectively, we went through a few different very high points and very low points in that entire journey. So if you'll recall back in the earlier processes, when it was going through the House committees, we had everything was going right. And then one Republican came in and basically got lobbied. And I'm not going to open that whole can of worms, but one individual got lobbied and basically cut the bill back down to a $5 tax, which was the worst possible thing that could have happened, because then you've just reduced the tax, you've kept the tax, and you've also kept the registration for suppressors, and shorts weren't even there, right? I can tell you, because there was a lot of, after all this went down, there was a lot of blame shifting and a lot of blame placement. I can tell you firsthand, hand on the Bible, that the groups that were involved, the four that I was in constant contact with were American Suppressor Association, NAGR, GOA, and NRA. So those four were working hand in glove the whole way through that process. And GOA particularly did a very, very good amount of legwork on pressuring the House to put that final basically the HPA, or the Hearing Protection Act, inside that manager's amendment at the very end of that, which got it in that bill. That was very heavily GOA. Now, NRA and NAGR, they all played their parts. ASA was very hand in glove with NRA on that part as well. There was a lot of pressure, but it was all in the same direction. And that was a really big win. That was one of the high points, because we overcame all the crap that happened in the Ways and Means committees and all the different underhanded politician stuff. At the end of it, and we'll get into this, this kind of goes into the people being people part of our government, the corrupt part. The bottom line is the parliamentarian fight in the Senate. There's a lot of stuff there that if you weren't paying real close attention and you weren't fully involved and invested in that, you don't recognize all the things that happened there. But the signs started to happen when it was going through the Senate process, right? It started going through the filibuster and the bird bath. You started seeing different indications from the Democrats and the way they were behaving and the way they were reacting during that whole process that kind of indicated where that process was going. And the biggest tell for me on the planet was the second that they came out and said, hey, the Short Act got basically neutered, the HPA got neutered down to a $0 tax stamp. Basically what they said was, and it was literally like, boom, boom. They said, parliamentarian failed it, but we have this amazing bill here with a $0 tax. Wouldn't you like this one? And John Cornyn was like, isn't this great? Isn't this great? Isn't this amazing? And And it was like, wow, you had that real handy, real quick.
Yeah, that was fast.
That's weird. That took about 1/10 of a second. That's odd. I mean, John, you've always been crafty, and you've always been good on 2A writes. So I know
It's
that
almost
you were,
like it was planned. Yeah.
right. And so that's what happened with that whole process. Now to my own taking my own outcome, observation, analytical part of it. Would I have absolutely been elated if we had gotten suppressors removed and short barrel regulations removed from the NFA? Absolutely, I would be. Yeah. Because I mean, the NFA in its entirety is an unconstitutional law. You can have whatever feelings and whatever emotions you want about if you do or don't want full autos on the streets, or you do or do want shorts, or you do want suppressors. I don't care. Like that's not my point. My point is you used and manipulated the tax code in order to take the rights of individuals.
Yeah,
that's
with the intention of pricing everyone out. Yeah,
right. Exactly. And you used finances and taxes to take people's rights from them that were theirs. That's the part that burns me up. And again, all that stuff, that is a different conversation. But at the end of the day, when I'm talking to anybody who's not necessarily a gun person, this is what occurred. And every single person's like, well, that's kind of screwed up. I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
Weird. And and that's kind of my take on it. But I mean, at the end of the day, sorry, I'll wrap real quick.
Yeah, no, you're good.
The big thing that I would say on that is I would have loved to have gotten the headshot on the monster, but getting the taxes cut down to 0 sets up another fight with a lot of the other orgs
for the future
is happening currently.
Yeah.
And honestly, they had, and when I say they, I mean the senators, they had us over a barrel. It was either you didn't get the parliamentarian what you wanted. You can either take 0 taxes or take nothing.
Yeah.
And in one scenario of the take the 0 taxes, you set up a fight in which multiple lawsuits are being filed in multiple different circuits, multiple different coalitions of gun groups. And in the other one, nothing changes. Nothing happens. It stays the same.
Yeah.
And when you get into that kind of scenario, it's like, I see what you did there, John Cornyn. Yeah. You got an election coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah, right.
Right,
well, and that's, and I guess, like, I think everyone here would probably agree that removing, I mean, just the NFA in entirety shouldn't exist, and its existence from before and up to 1934, when it became law, it was, like you said, it was literally designed to financially price people out of being able to have modern equipment, modern firearms, and things that they felt like were scary. And actually, if you go back and look at the actual like events that caused the people to go crazy and jump to we need to push this legislation to restrict machine guns, and it seemed like it was actually geared more towards handguns, and then also including things like
originally it was, yes.
Yeah, and then obviously things like machine guns, because the St. Valentine's Day shooting and all that. And then it's funny because the whole I'm thinking of the case of the sawed-off shotgun. Can't recall the name off the top of my head, but the reasoning that the case didn't end in his favor was because so our natural rights that are protected by the Second Amendment, I guess the way it was worded. So our natural rights that are given to us by God by just being born and existing, which are protected by the Constitution, by the Second Amendment, and that places a restriction on the government. It doesn't give us a privilege. We all naturally have these things by simply existing. Correct. And the way that they could come in and say, oh, well, this situation in this case, because of feelings, emotions, panic, whatever. In this case, this sawed-off shotgun, Miller. Yeah, Miller. Thank you. The case of Miller, the sawed-off shotgun. They had said that his shotgun wasn't protected by the Second Amendment because it wasn't a military style firearm. Now, fast forward to nearly a century later, and they're saying, oh, no, military style firearms are not protected under the
Right.
Second Amendment. They've just completely done.
Dude, it's
They
not
changed the
about
narrative.
logic or consistency. It will always
Of
change the
course.
narrative.
It's
Dude,
like fighting with a wife or girlfriend. You can't meet logic with emotion because they don't,
bro, it's
round
like
peg
fighting
square
with
hole.
it's like fighting with controlling psychopaths who are bent on control.
Yeah,
Like,
that too.
bro,
Yeah.
bro. I mean that's what I fight on my channel. That's my bread and butter. It's like, hey, look, psychopath A. Like, look
Yeah.
at this one. Here's the reason why they're wrong. Here's how we're gonna beat them. It's just like it's never ending. They can't help themselves. They
Yeah.
literally they have a affinity to just say dumb stuff and just repeat it.
Yeah. Like how braces can turn something into a
More lethal.
bump stock. Like
Mm-hmm.
they literally have zero idea. If we actually had people like, I mean, look, like Brandon Herrera, right? Like if we had
Mhm.
people like him in all the right places, and if everyone was like him to that level of understanding, most of the stuff I don't believe would even exist, right? Or it would be, just kind of swept out of existence because none of it
Yeah,
actually
see,
makes sense.
told you it would
Uh,
happen.
yeah, he did say,
I did
for
warn
those
him
of
my
you out
camera would
there.
have an aneurysm.
Yeah, yeah, and man, it was almost. I guess your camera is right on the clock. It's 10:59.
No,
So
that's
that's
okay. I'm just
yeah.
rolling. It's gonna come back on. I'm just gonna enjoy my voice and the melodious dark.
Oh,
Get it?
cool,
See what I did there?
nice. I like that. Dark. See, yeah, that's good.
See with
Um,
that?
but yeah, I mean, I don't think there should be any restrictions on any firearm ownership at all. I think that it's I think it's ridiculous, and it's sad that we have to go through all of this. That they're even. Oh, look at that! Welcome back.
Yeah, I told you I'd come back.
Yeah, you were right. That's kind of like an aneurysm.
I just saying.
Yeah, yeah. But the fact that any of this even exists is crazy. None of these firearm laws, that are on the books should even exist. But here we are. I mean, I'm preaching to the
and
choir
we
here.
and we are here. Right?
Yeah,
It's like
yep,
and yet great.
yep. Hey, Drewski, good to see you, bud. Too many choices, all you guys. He is running again. Yes, Herrera is running again. District, 23, I think.
I think it's 23.
Yeah, District 23. So yeah, hey Crumpy, good to see you. I didn't hear from you, Crumpy. I was just waiting for you. But anyway, I think that it's just constant, and I don't think we're ever just going to be. The only way that we will have a country that is totally void of firearm restrictions is if we completely lose rule of law and civilization as we know it just dies off, which honestly at times it feels like we're not too far away from that. But
I mean, just open up X and see all the nose ring mafia going. You're like, well, the comet's on the way. I'm pretty
dude,
sure.
these people are insane.
Dude, they're great content creators. Oh my God.
It's crazy. Example one.
I see an American flag. I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot. That person's probably a homophobe. That person's probably a racist if they're just flying American flags out everywhere.
Really, dude? Really? The symbol of freedom and independence. And look, I hate what America is right now. I hate the division. I hate that there's so much of it that I hate. The idea of America, the idea of a constitutional republic is the most beautiful thing in the world. And I think that's why a lot of us do what we do. But what it's become, and the division that's all brought on by these people up top that, like you said, that are just controlling psychopaths that are just trying to get whatever they can for themselves, and this worldly BS that sorry. Anyway, yeah.
I think it's
so.
Yeah. Point.
I wish that we did not have to deal with this. And honestly, I wish that that we didn't end the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act with the $0 tax stamp, because the issue was the registration. The issue is the government overreach. The issue is, the gay TF. So I had an issue with that. And partly, and I'm curious of what your thoughts are on this, when the language was initially submitted, I believe, in the House, the GOA had said they kind of put a safety net in there with the $0 tax stamp. Yeah. Do you think that we are where we are because that safety net was in there? That, like, you basically, it's like sitting in an all for for a house, right? And then sitting like, my offer is 550, but then in the bottom you say, but I'm willing to pay up to 650 though. Like,
no.
no,
So
okay,
no,
because I don't understand all of it from like the logistics standpoint.
no. That is, at no point in time did any organization, and I can tell, and I'm only telling you this from my perspective because I was very close to these guys when they were doing it, right?
Yeah.
And this is all organizations, but I can tell you that there was never a point in time where the conversation went in and said, I want this removed, but I'll take this. That never happened. Now, Section 3 of what you're talking about, not to get too into the nitty gritty, but Section 3 was effectively an insulator towards the different states that were going to have issues with suppressor laws that get triggered from removal. So it was a fail safe. It was not a fail safe on the offer. It was a fail safe on success. So at no point in time was there ever a backroom deal where someone said, this is what we want. This is what we're willing to meet. That conversation never happened. What I can tell you did happen, and this is at least from my perspective, looking at it and talking to a few people, there was a point where there was so much pressure, and this is politics in general. There was so much pressure from all four groups, GOA, NRA, ASA, and NAGR, and all the grassroots that were pushing forward. There was so much pressure that they could not get away with not giving something to somebody. Yeah. Right. That the senators knew that they could not get away without something, like some bone being given. And you see this all the time in politics and all these different sacred cows. We've got to give them something, because if we give them nothing, we're going to lose all credibility. Yeah. And that I think is what John Cornyn came in riding on his stupid little donkey going, hey, look, we can do this that I have pre-written. And I think that is what happened. I think we're not going to give you everything that you want, but you're going to get more than we thought you were going to get, and take it or leave it. I have a feeling that that's the conversation that was had. Yeah.
I could see that. And I definitely, the amount of grassroots, like the calls, the voicemails, the emails, it was constantly like the phone was going to voicemail, either because of the volume of calls, or if maybe they were like, dude, screw this, unplug the phone, like it was going pretty crazy. That going on. Yeah. So I could definitely see that. They've probably, and I'm just guessing here, they've probably never seen the gun. I hate to call it like the gun community, right? Because we kind of joke about like, is there like a shovel community or a screwdriver community, right? Like, it's like,
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, probably, right. Don't go look that up on Reddit, guys.
Everybody's got a community and a reason for a voice.
Yeah, but like, I don't think I've ever seen and we mentioned this, but I don't think I've ever seen the gun owners come together like we saw for the HPA in the Short Act. So that was definitely
well, I can actually tell you I can tell you people watching some inside baseball back end stuff that happened actually at goals, as veiled as I can, as detailed, but also veiled as I can go. I actually had in one of the meetings, in one of the conversations I was involved in at goals, one of the Congress people who was involved very heavily and intimately in that whole process, that you all know who you recognize this name. But this individual walked up to me and we were talking about it and going back and forth. And there was a few things that were discussed, which I was like, okay, that's interesting. We'll watch that for the future. That's the only Easter egg I can give you on that one. But then I said, so what happened here with this? And this individual said, Speaker Johnson walked up to me afterward and said, we've never heard from the gun community or the 2A community or the gun rights supporters as much as we've heard on this one. This changed a lot of things. So
that's huge.
Take that for what it is. I'm just telling you what a congressperson told me.
Yep. Dude, I believe it. And, we see how much, like the extreme left, we see how much movement they get with all the crazy calls, voicemails, emails, because look, they are crazy active, and the people fighting against us will always be more heavily funded. They will always be more like, what do you call it? Like more collaborative, and
hive mind is what you're talking about, Dark. Hive mind.
Yeah, exactly. They really aren't actually educated. They're given lines.
They're given talking points and signs and $25 an hour.
Well, and this is why, like, when people actually like say something and like try to like share, like if you're at work or something and people say some type of like headline or whatever, what you need to do instead of telling them no, you're wrong, actually the statistics are that, what you need to do is ask them a question about what they said, and then they'll come back with some cheap quick talking point as if what they said first was correct or real or true.
Right.
And then you ask them another question about it, and then you'll see beauty take place. They'll get pissed off, they'll storm off, they'll call you a Nazi or whatever. Yep. And then all of a sudden you're a
that's the
racist
fail safe,
Nazi.
man. If they pull that ripcord, you won.
Yes.
It's over.
Yep. Exactly. And that's, I never thought that, being called a Nazi would be like a yes, moment, but
winning.
Yeah, in situations like that, when they're so mad that all they can do is call you,
call you a name.
Yeah, like that's beautiful, but it's because they don't actually believe in the stuff that they're spewing. A, or B, they're just actually not educated enough on it, and they have to be, aware and hip of whatever the current thing is, right? Like the whole I support the current thing.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Crumpy dropping names in the chat. Gustav doesn't like us. No, he does not. He's gonna like us a whole lot less, by the way, when I platform his challenger in a couple weeks.
Oh, dang.
That's
dude.
I said it was gonna happen. Like this guy, not today, Satan.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's. I know there's going to be consequences from what happened over the last year, ranging for at least the next election, if not more, because dude, we came together and we were energized by what was going on, and people were active, and this was true like grassroots stuff. It wasn't 100%. Just dumb like bots and idiots that are just scraping together a little bit of cash from some NGO that's paid by some company that's paid by some
by the USAID, by us, our taxpayer dollars.
I know, right? Yeah. And not to mention organizations like the Democratic Socialists of America that are funded by like the Soroses and all those dirtbags.
Dropping all the names, huh?
Yeah, there's more, but for
YouTube, well, I love this stuff. Let's go, baby. Let's go down this hole.
But like when we feel burned, right? And look, there's okay, I'll say it. I hate the way that it ended. I was so pissed. I was like, we need to get in full kit and march, and we need to protest. But right. I will say there is a tiny paper thin win here. And it's not the financial like, oh, we get to save 200, but it's so what right now, what's paper thin, which is going to be phone book sized in the future. We have the opportunity to take something that is, called a tax, but it is not revenue garnishing. Like there's no revenue generated from this. So now there may be organizations out there that are already in the process of suing, to completely repeal the NFA, but who knows?
Two different coalitions. No, they've already announced them. The NRA is leading one with ASA, 2SF, and one more company, and then GOA's got one with three others, with FRAC and Palmetto State and another whatever. There's two full-on coalitions going in different circuit states already, or circuit courts already. But actually,
what's up?
I want to talk to you about. I want to kind of jump on something that you just said that I think is really, really important.
Okay.
Well, let me back that up. So on this entire fight, I think one of the things that is so crucial is perspective, right? If you look at just this one, like you said, paper thin win or paper thin occurrence, however you want to frame it, fine, cool. That paper thin thing of the one big beautiful bill. Okay. Bruin decision, Heller decision, McDonald, Cargill, Loper Enterprises, Rahimi, the 10th Circuit decision that just came down around the waiting period being unconstitutional today. The 9th Circuit 1 in 30 bans just got taken down. I mean, guys, when you look at this objectively, zoomed out, this is about momentum. Like
Yeah.
everything that we do is about momentum. And if we are constantly assailing them on all their different fronts of their sacred cows, we have the momentum going against them. Now,
Yeah.
we're not going to win instantly. Should we win instantly? Yes.
Of
Are we
course.
going to? No. Because
Yeah.
the NFA and all the gun control that came from the NFA started over 90 and executed over 90 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got momentum going, keep going with that momentum. You're going to lose one here, you're going to win one here. But dude, if you win 51% of all the onslaughts that you go after, you're going to win. It's a matter of time. And we are sitting at like 78% win rate right now nationally. And
Yeah.
it's mindset. That's the whole thing, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you hold up a piece of paper, can it stop a bullet? Well, no, of course not, right? Like this is all compound interest on activities over time, right? So one piece of paper, one paper thin win, right? So let's say Bruin, that may be a few pieces of paper, right? That's that's a big
that's
deal.
a chunky.
You know?
That's a pamphlet. That's a
Yeah,
pamphlet right there.
it's a small paperback book. You know, it's
Yeah.
that was huge, right? That I mean, that literally started tipping the scale,
Mhm.
both thumbs on the scale. Like that was huge. But like a singular piece of paper can't stop a bullet, right? You could poke a hole through it with a pencil.
Mhm.
But like you're saying, all of these wins, right? You know, when you're talking about like this is compound interest over time, you start stacking all these paper thin wins on top of each other. I don't know if you guys have ever shot a phone book with a suppressed 22 in your garage. I don't all the time. Then, you know, it can eventually, I mean, it's bulletproof eventually. So all of these small wins over time are going to, you know, collect that compound interest and, you know, continue that momentum. And we're going to continue winning. Should we even have to fight in the first place?
Nope.
No. And what drives me crazy is, you know, these people, I'll just say, you know, people that
In
fundamentally disagree with us, right? They'll sit there and fight for the constitutionality of everything except our natural rights of, you know, self-defense and life preservation and all that. So the Second Amendment.
And then they'll just make other ones up.
Yeah, yeah. Or just
abortion,
totally
healthcare. Wait, what?
yeah, yeah.
Those aren't rights.
Dude, I've literally heard people
are now.
say that they have constitutional rights like to like drive a car and
Right.
you know to which you know
Like, no, you don't, dickhead.
yeah, not exactly. But yeah, it's crazy. And I will say, although, you know, when everything first came out on the HPA and the Short Act, I literally stood there and said, "This is not a win. I'm not happy with it."
Oh, I watched
Yeah.
you do it. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
watching your stream when you did
Well,
it.
thank you. I appreciate
You and a
that.
bunch of guys. It was like 6 or 7 guys, right?
Yeah, it was like me, Crump. Dang, Langley watches DLD. Yeah, I mean, you probably watched it on Crump or one of our channels, and
I
I was
watched it
pissed.
somewhere. I don't know.
I was pissed.
You were
know,
cranky.
I was quite cranky, and you know, in the end, I knew right away. Like, if anyone out there has ever talked to Eric Pratt, I mean, he's just always looking for a way to, you know, to continue fighting, and I admire that about him and the organization. But man, I was blown away to see the NRA step up at all. Was like,
that's a conversation.
Whoa! Like I was impressed, you know, and I never would have envisioned myself saying that. Like, you know, if you go back to old me a few years ago and be like, what do you think about the NRA? You know, it'd be a different story. So that was interesting. It was refreshing to see. I'll say that. So all of this is adding to the DLD has more hope category. So it's good.
Right. So I could actually throw some more hope on there for you if you'd like.
Yeah.
So
I love hope.
one of my I mean, you could say it's a benefit. You could say it's a curse. You could say my pro, negative, whatever. It's your perspective, I guess. Yeah. I really like giving people the chance at redemption because I fully believe that if someone makes a mistake or if a organization makes a mistake, it's an opportunity for them to improve upon that mistake and be better for the overall collective, right? Sure. I will not. You're not really going to hear me regularly go and just toss gasoline on a company and just burn them to the ground and say there's no way you're coming back from this ever again. Now there's obviously certain examples where it's like, bro, like whoa, like what?
Yeah.
But in these types of scenarios, like the NRA, even when they were at their worst, Wayne LaPierre, the worst corruption, they were getting dissolved, they were getting sued, even at their lowest point, they still served a purpose, and that was the boogeyman of the left, right? They were completely defanged. They were not involved in any lawsuits, any political attribution, no money fundraising, no endorsement. I mean, literally non-existent for 4 years.
Yeah.
And the left still was making them the boogeyman. And we're out here on the, the gun world. We're going like, I mean, do we tell them that they don't have any relevance or just do we let it keep going?
I used to laugh watching them talk about, and they're all NRA shills.
The NRA shills. And it's like, okay.
Like, well, the NR who?
Yeah, the NR what now? Well, so since Wayne is gone, the ultimate irony is when Letitia James in the New York AG's office got rid of Wayne LaPierre, and they made this huge thing. We're like, the NRA is dead. Meanwhile, the rest of us out in the real gun world, we're like, well, that guy's been the problem for 25 years, so thanks. I get another backfire. Like, yay, oh no, you got him. I'm scared.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you, I'm in contact pretty regularly with a lot of the people who want to make a difference and want to make a turnaround. And I'll tell you, I have flat out said to them, y'all screwed the pooch so bad, this is going to take you years. And they're like, we know. Yeah. So the reason I say that story is there is a concerted effort to try to redeem that brand recognition and that place in the gun world. Now, do I know if it's going to happen and execute nicely? No, I don't. But I can tell you the conversations that I've been approached with are all around, hey, how do we start this conversation where we basically work our way back in from the doghouse, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, everyone needs a gold-plated AK. It's a good start.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, they are going about it the right way, where like if they were to just show up and say what they're going to do, all of us would be like get out of here, Yeah. But to not, come out and try to, spit a bunch of BS, trying to save face and all that, and say, we pinky promise we're going to be different, for them to actually shut up and do work and actually get results, dude.
That's it, man.
I'm already impressed by what I saw. Again, am I thrilled with the the way that things ended? No, but it's incremental, and this is what I've learned. It's incremental success, one step at a time. Bob, brother, thank you so much. Member for 30 months. That's crazy, dude. Chana member. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, that's so here's the here's actually the list, because I have this in a conversation. You are absolutely correct. So I don't want you to tell me that you're back and, oh my God, we're going to reclaim the former glory. I have no interest in you telling me that. I want to literally find what you're doing and be like, okay. So here's the list of what they've done since the One Big Beautiful Bill on the NRA. They have filed 3 different petitions for cert for the SCOTUS, the under 21 bans, the SBR bans, which is the bill the lawsuit they brought forward with the coalition, and now hardware, which would be the California case. So, I mean, genuinely. And then I followed up with saying, Wayne, F y'all dirty. And then they said, yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. But I mean, like, there is action going on. Yeah. And going back to the point that I said earlier, I'm not contractually obligated to any one national gun rights groups because I could do these conversations and I could say this is the better outcome for everybody. Now, I have certain ones that I'm incredibly close with on a personal level. Like I mean, of course, but that's a human relationship. That's not a professional relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad to see that. And honestly, I kind of see that as like a high level of integrity to say, hey, I'm not gonna. It would be pretty easy for you to affiliate with one of the organizations. Let's be honest, right? With your followers, your viewership, your subscribers, all of that. And for all the viewers out there, it's important to know that he could easily monetize what he's doing with these organizations, but to stay true to it and be like, hey, I'm gonna continue reporting on what all of these organizations do, so it doesn't kind of. I see that as a positive thing for the purpose of integrity and moral clarity. We'll call it that. Zanti Misfit, thank you, member, for 24 months. He says, I'm a freedom bastion.
Yeah, so that's from my shorts. I said one morning that John spilling beans. Look at John. I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to say, John. Get out of here.
Dang, Crumpy.
That's okay, Crumpy. You know I love me some John Crump.
$5 super
John
chat.
Crump.
NRA was willing to trade the short act through,
I
maybe though.
I think that was though.
Yeah, but I don't think that is out until now. Of course, Crumpy, you got. I mean, I don't see any receipts. All right, I'm just kidding.
Listen, don't doubt the Crumpy.
Oh,
in Crumpy we trust.
If Crumpy says something publicly, then there's see, now because I said there's no receipts, my phone's going to go off.
Your phone is going to be blinging off the hook, and he's going to be like, no, mother trucker.
I believe you, Crumpy.
Yeah.
Sorry, so you were saying this was in one of your
Freedom
short...
Bastion. Yeah. So I did a short on this. This is actually a pretty funny story. So I was doing a short, and I literally didn't know like what my intro was going to be, and so I started to say good morning, and it came out beautiful. Like the word beautiful came out of my mouth, and I was like, well, I don't know where I'm going with that. And I was like, bastions of freedom, and that's all I could say.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So everybody was like, oh, that's interesting. And some people were like, I'm not a bastard. And then I did another short where I was like, I didn't say bastard, I said bastion. And then I said it again and again and again. And so finally people kind of gave me some crap. And I saw a short comment on a short that said, stop calling me a bastard, or stop calling me a bastion. I hate that crap. And I was like, okay. And so I pulled up a short and I said, hey guys, I'm not going to say it again. There's mixed reviews, whatever. Dude, I got blasted. Like, you better not drop it. And so now it's Beautiful Bastions of Freedom, the BBOF.
So that's like what the viewers are now.
That's what they call themselves. They picked it up, they owned it, they told me I can't drop it, and I was like, sir, yes, sir.
That's too funny. You got to listen to
monkey.
Them,
like,
it's the same thing. It's like, when I was talking about the song, it's like,
yeah, same thing.
There was a while I was like, yeah, guys, I think I'm going to lose the song. And then it was like, like all these comments, like, you better not listen to it. I'm like, it's the same song every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That was the whole thing.
It's the vibe, it used to be this like little like ding, ding, ding. It was not as fun. The Devil in a Red Dress song, I guess it was in like Call of Duty or something, and still, yeah. You
know what's one of those songs that's like that level for me is the GoldenEye theme. Like when you hit the pause button on GoldenEye. Now that's that's a dope song. I've actually seen people use that in like sports and stuff. Yeah, it's like, oh
yeah,
they dropped this banger.
Takes you back to the N64 days. And look at all you beautiful bastions of freedom. Live life, dude. Okay,
get it.
This is another. Thank you so much, Live Life. This is another excellent story. Okay, so well, actually, let me ask this. First off, thank you, Live Life, for becoming a channel member. I appreciate you, brother. Is it okay if I kind of generally dance around the story of what happened, or would you rather that I didn't? Because it's a huge win. I have another huge win to touch on too, which actually this was the next place that I was going to go. Tim Hoppa with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. When are the little Armalites hidden in attics and walls of Belfast make an appearance outside of migrant hotels in the UK?
I think that's a joke to the IRA. Pretty sure. Yeah,
that's definitely the IRA pickle jar bomb jokes. That's, if you guys don't know about the IRA pickle jar bombs, they would literally put so they kind of had like crappy munitions, right? But they were creative. So they would put these like crappy little homemade granadas in pickle jars, and like those huge, like at the pub, there'd be those big old pickle jars, and they'd put it in there and then dump like nuts and bolts and drill bits and stuff like that. And then they would leave it in like a place. Anyway, so it would just blow. So it became like a thing where the IRA was known for, amongst many other things, pickle jar bombs with hardware in them. But Tim Harper here. So Tim Harper, I guess you could call him a Second Amendment auditor, right? he'll go around and he'll open carry his AR, and of course when he gets run up on by police with long guns and stuff, he usually walks away with his gun. Well, in this one instance, they took the firearm, and this is in Oklahoma. They took the firearm, and it was a braced AR pistol with a binary trigger. And they contacted the ATF, and they said that it was an SBR and a machine gun, which that's impressive, considering that that's not a thing. If it's a machine gun, it can't be an SBR. And anyway, so they had it for 6 years. And John from the GOA came on my show, and we were talking about it. He mentioned it. He actually had contacted the GOA, and in most cases, if it's not a civil situation, they can't get involved with criminal stuff, because they need to make movement with civil suits so it can positively impact everyone. Well, they still went out of their way, and shout out to the lawyers over there, Stambolier and Olson. Those guys are incredible. Love them. They were able to find the right Oklahoman attorney, and they were able to help him get his AR pistol back after 6 years of it being held hostage illegally.
Which, so
shout out
circle is why you consider using a Glock around.
Right? Open carry your Glock, Tim. Goodness.
Yeah. Overachiever over here.
That is super dope. That they're just like, the fact that John saw a viewer just chatting in my comments and was like, "Ooh, someone needs help. I'm going to help him." I'm like, dude, we've already tried to help him. Like, don't, blah, blah, blah. And he still went out of his way. And
don't doubt the Crumpy.
Dude. Yeah, man. It's awesome. Let me see. Let me just make sure I don't want to miss. Did Live Life get back? You're good to go, bro. Okay. So we all know, and I know we can wrap up because we're a little past time for you. We all know someone that's maybe went and used a public restroom, and people that carry firearms 24/7. If you're going to go to the bathroom, you usually got to remove your firearm. Well, Live Life unfortunately did remove his firearm, and he left it in the public bathroom. And he came back, like, as soon as he hit the road and he was driving down the street, a few minutes had gone by, he'd realized that he didn't have his handgun on him. And to make things more complicated, this was a home-built handgun on an unserialized frame. And he had it's unfortunate. But it was like a $1,700, polymer 80 style Glock, right? And he came back and he was like, "Hey, did someone report something in the bathroom?" And
anyone turned something in?
Yeah, was there any women and children running around screaming? And the guy was like, "Yeah, something was left in the bathroom." And he had showed him a picture of that exact gun from like January, saying like, "Clearly this is mine. I built it, blah, blah, blah." And the guy said, "Look, I already called the police. The police are coming. So if it is really yours and you want it back, you got to wait." Cops came. Luckily, they did not arrest him or anything. And he's very lucky, because they could have charged him with the criminal negligence of a firearm, all sorts of stuff. And they also freaked out because it was unserialized, of course, because it's a scary ghost gun. And
scary.
Yeah. And anyway, this has been like several weeks, which actually is not too bad on time, but several weeks had gone by, and he didn't want to push it because they could turn around and charge him. And we all got together. We literally like prayed for him to receive his property back, and group prayer for him to get his gun back. This is also the only handgun he has for carry, right? The guy doesn't have 100 guns. And it's also one that him and his daughter, she helped pick out some of the parts, because when she gets old enough, she's going to get this gun. Anyway, he just recently got called for an appointment to go meet with law enforcement, which I could imagine you went with super tight butt cheeks, fearing what may happen to you. And when he went there, they gave him his freaking gun back, and he left with no charges filed.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, like, incredible. So glad that you got it back. I know that's a super long story, but man, it was so worth it. Congrats. You're awesome. Um, anyway, before we wrap up here and let you go, anything else that you wanted to hit on before we wrap it up here?
No, shout out to Matt Smith in the comments. I can see the comments over here too. Matt Smith apparently is a channel member here and also a Second Press member, which is like my little membership community that I have in my space.
Oh,
On
nice.
my channel. So we've got a little bit of an overlap. So I wanted to give a shout out to Matt. Thanks
That's
for being
awesome,
a Second
man.
Press member, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's a channel member over here. He actually is not too far away from me geographically, so we got the chance to meet. Oh, and are you coming to Guns Out this year?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Well, so here's the thing, dude. Everybody and their brother and then their brother's cousin has a gun shoot or a gun event.
Of
now.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, I do
You
3
gotta be
videos a day.
selective.
Like I can't just go do that. I've got an employee that does 3 videos a day. I do 3 videos a day. I've got other stuff that it's just like I can go to the big ones, not because I don't want to go to the other ones, just because like logistically I cannot make those work.
Yeah, dude. I got you. Honestly, leaving for nearly a week to goals. I don't want to miss goals, but Iowa freaking right? Yeah,
Des Moines.
Iowa, Des Moines. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be a tough one.
I gotta go. I mean, it's one of the big ones.
Yeah, I know. And like IV88 being canceled and all that, man, it's like, dang, it's a bummer. But luckily I'm like within a half an hour of XCal, so I will be there this coming up weekend. Yeah. So for all you guys out there, if anyone out there wants to come to a great event, the Guns Out TV, if you guys don't know, John and Shermichael, most of you guys do, come to XCal this coming up weekend. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, or no, to the public Saturday, Sunday, I believe. And just check it out. Go on their website. They got all the stuff. And also, not only if any viewers want to come out there, if anyone is looking for an opportunity to shoot me in the face, great time. I would encourage it. Wow. Tim Harper, thank you for the $5 super chat. You guys are awesome.
It says quickly.
Yeah, right. That's kind of, a little joke. Let's make anti-gunners as nervous as Brits seeing a van with Irish tags in 19.
Is this guy Irish?
Dude,
is this guy Irish? Like, what is this
you
guy?
Must have been reading some IRA books or watching some IRA movies.
Like watching what was that? The Patriot Games.
Oh yeah. Dude, there's some great IRA like movies and shows out. There's a new show that came out recently with some like super badass chick that was sorry, I've been trying not to curse. This very awesome female that is like a low-key like IRA spy or something. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, so before we wrap it up, one question I would have for you is what's one thing about you that people may not know that would be interesting or that people, would find interesting or unique?
That people don't know.
Or may not know.
Right.
And I could tell you actually, I had another friend, Walt, with Safety Harbor Firearms on here. And when I'd asked him a question similar to this, he had said, yeah, I have a dirt bike YouTube channel, called Dirtfoot Racing. And all of us are like, but what? You're a gun manufacturer, And actually that channel's blown up for him. So shout out to Walt. He also makes 50 cals, but
I got it.
What you got?
A lot of people do not know that my creative outlet and my stress relief outlet is I make handmade furniture for my family.
Do you really?
Yeah. I've got the biggest one that I made this year was I think it was a 7-foot by 3-foot solid oak trestle table out of oak logs that I harvested from my backyard.
Dude, that's awesome.
From tree to table, baby.
So you're not making furniture like Mel Gibson from The Patriot. Like this stuff actually lives.
6 pounds and 3 ounces. Perfect. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally making like full on tables with trestles and all that stuff.
Okay. Do you ever do like content around that stuff? Or oh, dude, I guarantee you, people would love to see. And we've
Oh, they
actually
do.
kind of joked about stuff like, you know, making a non-firearm related channel. I always said that I would do like a miniature cooking channel. Have you ever seen that stuff?
Yes, it's so weird.
Dude, it's so
it's,
creepy. I have an
it's a
8-year-old
niche.
daughter.
It's
Yeah,
a niche, man. Like,
it's yeah.
no,
Anyway,
the thing I know, like, that's the problem being a YouTuber, because once you figure out how YouTube works and you figure out how the system works and you figure out how channels work, you go, I could make a YouTube channel on that. Like, I love fishing, but I could totally
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
And like, oh man, I made that table. I could totally do that. But I don't want to blend all the things that I enjoy to get away from the
yeah,
stress of
yeah.
it to become that same stress.
It is. It
Um,
does kind of suck the joy out of things a little bit, you know. And I noticed that at the range, I went shooting after goals with Black Diamond Josh, Flying Rich, and we were out at Tennessee Silencer. And you know, all of us were like so focused on getting the shots and the
mhm.
drone and the POV video and the meta
Yep.
glasses, and it's like, man, I'm not really enjoying shooting. The times I enjoy shooting is when I go to the range and just don't focus on making
Yep.
content or anything at all. Maybe that's why
Mhm.
all the big guys have like videographers, professional videographers. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it probably honestly, the content is significantly better when you have a videographer.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm going to the range, like, I mean, if you saw me at the goals gun range, the little
Hmm.
media day, I
Yeah.
don't really spend a lot of time in the booth shooting a lot of guns. I mean, unless something's really unique where I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a neat thing. Um,
Mhm.
it's not because I don't like guns. It's just because there's a lot of people around, and there's a lot of things that are happening all at one point in time. And
Yeah.
I just prefer, when I'm at a range, I just like to kind of have my stuff out. Maybe I'm just taking time. Like, hey, here's 10 rounds of 9mm. I'll take it slow and I'll just shoot.
Yeah.
It's a methodical thing for me, or longer range stuff, or bolt actions. Like, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just the mag dumps to me. Yeah, I've done them. I've done them plenty of times, but I'm just like, I'm good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'll be
feel
over
you.
here. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, some people in those kind of chaotic situations aren't always the safest, and you know, it could be sphincter tightening at times. All right, last thing,
Mad minutes, man. I kind of go to the car for mad minutes. I'm like,
dude.
I'll be over there before the shrapnel starts blowing back at us. I'll
Yeah.
be over there.
Oh,
Like,
and he's not playing, guys. Like literally, like at every IV-88 shoot, no one
that's the
has
one I was
been
thinking, dude. That's
injured.
the one I
Yep,
was thinking.
straight up. Every single time, there's been someone that's like, you know, shooting the rifle target or shooting the pistol target 7 yards away with
With
green tip
rifles.
5.56. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's always that guy or those guys. But aside from small little scratches and stuff, no one has been injured, knock on wood, at those events. So that's great. When they occur, when they're supposed to, no shade. I'm just saying. All right, last thing.
Yeah.
What is a unicorn gun purchase that, like, if it were available right now, you would buy, just like, you know, regardless of price, just something that you want like so badly, handgun,
Yeah.
rifle, shotgun. What would be your unicorn
Okay.
gun?
So that's what I call my I made it gun. Right. And
Okay.
I still haven't gotten it yet. But when I get this gun, I made it. And it is a custom Nighthawk. It's going to be
Mm,
green, OD green, and it's got a black furniture on it. And it's going to be a very pretty thing. And that's my I made it gun. And it's not about
nice.
anything to do with the money. It has nothing to do with the frame, that's the style. I literally saw that when I was starting out, and I said, I will buy that gun when I feel like I have made it. Right. And
Nice.
I haven't made it yet. So I have not bought that gun.
Mm. Will you ever put a metric on what making it looks like to you?
Yeah. Um, honestly, for me, it's not a financial
Mhm.
number. Um, that's not really it. For me, it is the moment that I know that I have done every single thing that I possibly can to defeat the opponents of freedom and defeat the people who try to take our gun rights of myself and our children and the next generation. The moment that I know that I've done every single thing that I possibly can through multiple organizations, multiple community stuff, multiple product launches, multiple cultural changing events, all this stuff, and then I hand it off to somebody else, at that moment I made it.
Beautiful, man. I love that, and I love that it would still continue. You pass the torch on and keep it going. That's awesome. Plus, once you build something with that kind of foundation, you got to keep it going. So
You have to.
that's awesome.
That's the whole thing. That's what it's all about. The American experiment, my man.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And guys, I was going to stick around for a bit, but I'm still backed up on packages from traveling to goals. So everyone that's placed an order through Definition Knives or DLD Hardware, we are getting everything out. I am getting everything out. Just do me a favor, remain patient. And thank you again, Braden, for coming out, man, and just being totally open and just kind of letting me go. A lot of people don't like doing live shows because they could be unpredictable, but you were
listen
pure Chad.
Where I'm at, man, with the stuff that I do. If I can't do lives, I'm not ready. I'm not doing the right stuff. So
I think
it's my pleasure.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Love doing the live streams. And guys, we're going to go ahead and close out. And just remember, as we close out, please do me a favor. If there's mods in the chat, if you could drop the link for Langley's channel, that would be awesome. Also, if you're watching this the next day, there'll be a pinned comment with his channel information. Make sure you follow him. He is one of the good ones doing some of the great work that you see working with these organizations and keeping you guys. I mean, this is probably one of the most important parts, keeping you guys aware of what's going on in the gun world as it continues to spin. So as we close out here, I just want to remind you guys to show love to the people that in our little circle, make sure we show love to Gideon Optics, Goonbeam. If you do shop at Definition Knives, DLD Hardware, that does support the channel directly, and I really appreciate that. Also, the little circle of people, the little guys, we got to continue supporting them because it's super important that, if you just throw your money at the wall at the big guys, doesn't really, help us and our people in our circle grow. And remember, regardless of who's, whatever administration, who's in the Oval Office, it doesn't matter. We are still in a culture war. So it's important that you take on the role of the culture warrior. Make sure that you're holding yourself to a higher standard and expectation, being a better leader in your community, at home, at your church. The best way to do that is to hold yourself to higher standards and expectations. And some of the rules I like to go over with you guys at the end of every show are: rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind, please. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Thank you again so much. Braden, thank you for coming on. You guys rock. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to Langley Outdoors Academy, at least for now. Maybe a different name in the future. But appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Later.